I like the quote, it goes, you know, you should create to express, not impress. And I try and embody that. Hi, I'm Carlyn Rhamey. I am a storyteller and a multidisciplinary artist here in Hamilton, Ontario. I really love it because it's so handy. You can bring it anywhere with you. I like to pick something light like this, or you've got your own now. Something that you can just throw into your purse or your backpack and you can take to the park or take to sketch something or draw something when you're in the waiting room, which is really, really nice. I go with how my brain needs to go. I have ADHD, I'm a neurodiverse artist, so with ADHD you can be impulsive, I'm impatient, I don't like spending time on little details. I'll probably never be a realist sketch artist. Wonderful art form, not for me at all. I like to just go with how I'm feeling. It's kind of all about what color's jumping out of me or what image is jumping out of me, at me. And so, like, for example, I started with this, and when I started to go through the page and it started to leak through, then I started to want to have images coming through from here and maybe words. So I kind of made a collage here at random, and then whatever poked through on this one. And then I had all this extra paint in my tray, so I tipped the tray over and it was like two big circles, and I kind of wiggled that around on this one, and I did the face later. And then that dripped off onto here. And for this one, I used the napkins to punch the paper really aggressively. I was in an intense mood, and I flattened the end and soaked the paper as much as possible. And then I realized that I'd spilled out onto this canvas. So I took the tissue paper, or the napkin, and I glued it onto this one. And then I lifted up this page, and it had gone through to this one, which made this piece that I'm still kind of working on, and I didn't have my tray anymore, so I used the paint from here to there you go. I used this as a paint tray, and when I was finished with this piece, I had this big splotch, and it ended up turning into a raven, which I made with a knife, not a paintbrush, because I had none clean. And then that poked through to do a couple different things. This piece that's still, there you go, this piece that's still being developed, and that went all the way through to here, which is my little angry feminist monster. So whether it's marker or pencil or paint, I love how, like, I did that, and that was 2 days of art. There's like 8 pieces that I pretty much was working on at the exact same time, because that is how my brain kind of leads me. And this is the one art form that I actually get to let it just be the way it was meant to be, which is really special to me. So I just listen to it. I listen to the impulses, and that tends to spread out to multiple shapes and sizes of work. And yeah, so my long explanation of my story of those like 8 pieces. My prompt to you would be to take a newspaper or a magazine, or maybe even an old notebook when you took driver's ed and you scribbled in the margins, and cut out a image or some words that jump out to you. Or maybe it doesn't have to be something that jumps at you. Maybe it's just a bunch of scribbles of notes, or just a strip that you rip out of a newspaper. Take it, rip it out, cut it out, whatever, and glue it onto a completely blank page, and start from there. So whether, you know, if it's, I cut out this slug, and I cut it out, you know, very detailed, but you can also rip things out. Like I ripped out these words. I just liked that they mentioned Alice in Wonderland, and these signs I ripped out from a National Geographic novel. And from there, you know, add marker, add paint, fill the page around that. And you don't have to keep gluing things. You can draw, you can use words, write down your favorite a quote or maybe a lyric from your favorite song around the edges of what you've glued on. Let it expand from there, but do try and fill the page in the end, because when you look back from where you started with one image or one little strip of paper that you've ripped out, from that tiny point you've grown it into your first your first fully fledged art piece in your sketchbook. And I think just something as simple as, you know, ripping something out of a magazine can spark that. If I have like a fixed idea in my head of what I want this to be, you know, I want to do a bird, or I want to specifically do a flower or something like that, it never comes out how I want it to. And then I'm just down on myself, and or I just never start like that collage that I just wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't start it because I had this idea of what it had to be. And whenever that happens, I just have to say, like, screw it. I just need to go do the first thing that comes to mind, and then the second thing that comes to mind, and keep going. And yeah, I think that's perfect for a sketchbook, because it's not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to be your masterpiece. It's supposed to be for you to express, not impress. Sketchbook Summer is coming to you. I'll be doing a pop-up on July 4th at 2 p.m. at Carter Park. So come over there and make some art with me. It's gonna be really fun. Yay. Yeah. That's good?
Perfect.